Welcome back, squad. On to must avoid wide receivers. Let's go. Welcome back, squad. Like I said, avoiding receivers today. That's what we are doing. We're looking at 5 guys. I chose 5 because I feel like I was being a bit of a weenie with only picking 3 and 4. It's time to actually put the balls on the wall, to the wall, for, against the wall. It's time. So a lot of these are very high risk, high reward. I could be very right or very, very wrong. So we'll see. Kind of fun. Let's go. Up first, at wide receiver 25, it's Jamison Williams. This one's tough. I love JMO. I had him on my team last year for a good chunk of the year. He's super fun to watch. He's super enjoyable. He's on the field a ton. He led the league in snap share at wide receiver. You're saying, why don't you like him then? Detroit Lions throw the ball. He averaged 6 targets a game last season, which is not great, and that was without Laporta on the field. With Laporta on the field, he was below 5 targets a game. He had 8 red zone targets all last season, 3 inside the 10, which is not great. For reference, that puts him around the Rashid Shaheed range of red zone targets. And every year I feel like I get this new scouting report or coach speak or some, exciting new reporter who saw him run fast and it's going to be his year and he looks amazing. And he always does and he always is. And then the year comes and they just don't throw him the ball a ton. If Amon-Ra is there and if Laporta is healthy, I just don't trust him. He's going to have boom weeks. He's going to have bust weeks. He's super fun to watch. If I'm a Lions fan, I love him. If I'm a fantasy fan, I like him less. So sadly, I am out on JMO this year. Up next, now we're getting into some hot water probably with some people. One spot below him, wide receiver 26, that range, DJ Moore. Now you're saying Moore is on a brand new team. He's with Josh Allen. He's in Buffalo. He has a good quarterback throwing him the ball. What's wrong? What's wrong is that Buffalo loves committees at every single position on this team except for Josh Allen. Last season, DJ Moore had 5 targets a game. And yes, that was with Rome and Burden and Loveland, right? There was a crowded room there. And you say Buffalo is less crowded. And you'd be correct. That's not wrong. But Khalil Shakir is still there. He led the team in targets with 5.9 a game last year. Dalton Kincaid is still there. What I also don't like is that he's going to get the number 1 coverage from cornerbacks, meaning he's playing against guys who are very good too. He's playing against Christian Gonzalez, right? He has these tough matchups. And the Bills, I think, are just not going to be that team to hit one guy 13 times a game with targets. Maybe occasionally, maybe rarely, not frequently. But Josh Allen loves to run. He's going to get those end zone goal line carries for sure. James Cook will get the 4-yard, 3-yard carries. DJ Moore, you're hoping for like a 7-yard touchdown pass. Also, they play the Jets and the Dolphins twice this year. So 4 games a year, I think they'll be winning and I think they'll be running a lot. Plus, DJ Moore is 29. He's getting up there. He's not crazy old yet, but just a little bit on that side. I'm just kind of more out on him than I'm in on him. So I'm probably going to pass on DJ Moore unless he falls a little bit more. Overall, I'm probably skipping both of these wide receivers so far. Up next, this one is 90% injury speculation. It's Malik Neighbors. He's going at wide receiver 20, and that could jump, that could lower. We don't really know right now. There was reports of him that he might miss up to the first 5 games of the year, which would put him on the PUP, which is not good. He had some scar tissue buildup from the ACL that he tore. He's going to have to recover from that if he misses the 4 weeks. I would imagine there's a 4-week ramp-up period as well, just getting used to the injury and kind of trusting that knee again, which is a common theme with ACLs. So you're looking at 8 weeks before he's like fully himself again. Neighbors, I think he's a little bit more precarious now because of Isaiah Likely and kind of this new overhauled system. Not that he can't be successful or he can't be good in the second half of the season. He might be a good trade target, but early on I don't like him, and then you have to sit with him for 8 weeks and just hope that he can produce something in that time. So I don't love drafting injured players. Neighbors is no exception, and a wide receiver 20, I don't like his price either. In that range, give me Lad McConkey at 17 or Garrett Wilson at 18. Love either of them in comparison. Up next, this one I went back and forth on a little bit. Cortland Sutton, he's going around wide receiver 36 this year. I still don't super know exactly what I think of him, but I probably won't be drafting him at that price. He'll be turning 31 in October. He's not a young chicken anymore. Jalen Waddle's there, which is kind of good, and he's still going to get a lot of the red zone work, but at his age and with Waddle, there's going to be less targets overall. He's going to be even more touchdown dependent than he already was. He averaged just above 7 targets a game last year. I don't see that number going up with Waddle as much as I would love for it to. And with Troy Franklin, Pat Bryant, that third wide receiver, might be a competition between those two. I don't see Sutton coming off the field, but just more targets to compete with. This offense is more competent, more built together. Dobbins will be back from injury. There's just a few little tiny things put together that make me a little bit wary of Sutton. So again, if he falls a little bit lower, I like him, but at that price, it's a little too much for me. Up next, very controversial because he's on a great team and he's the wide receiver too, Davante Adams. He's going around wide receiver 24, and the big talk, right, the TD regression. He had 14 touchdowns last year, a 23.3 touchdown rate. For reference, the average in the NFL is 7.7 for a wide receiver. Do I think he hits 7.7? No, I think he still is above that. But I mean, if it drops to 13% or 14 or 15, right? Like, I just don't like that. The hamstring injury at his age, he's 33, is always a little scary and weary to be concerned about. He had a 70% snap share last season, which isn't really terrible, but again, a number I see not going up, maybe going down, at best maintaining, I would say. He had 8.1 targets a game last season, which is pretty good, but if you look at the last 2 years, he had 10.1 the previous year and then 10.3 the year before that. So it's going down. I think it will continue to go down, probably not that drastically this year, but again, he's slowly getting older and older and older. I love Davante. I hope he does well. I hope I'm wrong about Davante. And this offense is going to be different with Cliff Kingsbury coming in, so that's always a fear. If you want someone really risky with huge upside at that range, I'd go with Luther Burden instead. Anyway, that is all I got for you. Let me know what you think, who you're avoiding a wide receiver. We're moving on to tight ends as expected next week. We will go and get going. Talk to you soon.